You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. And be sure to smash that like button. Watching LSU last weekend, the conversation here all week, RC, has been, okay, second half, they got some stops. Missouri had 6 possessions. LSU only gave up 2 scores. Did they find something like train die? Did you see anything different?
No, I mean, from a schematic standpoint, they seem to do many of the same things. I want to say what Harold got the pick in the second half. Mason was able to create some pressure. I think what they were able to do was not give up the big play. And whether that's tackling, whether it's communication, whatever it is, they made Missouri earn yardage. And so much of what's happened to LSU, especially when you go back to Ole Miss or you go back to the first half of Mizzou, it was giving up the big play and not making people earn points, earn touchdowns. And a lot of times, if you defend every blade of grass, you just make it hard on teams to be that efficient, hard on teams to not make mistakes. And I thought that was what they did a really good job of in the second half. And you hope that continues into Auburn this week, who, quite frankly, has struggled a little bit offensively.
Yeah. Jayden Daniels and LSU have not struggled offensively at all. I mean, you've obviously seen Jayden his entire career when he started at Arizona State with Jordan. Could you have seen this, RC? I mean, it's...
Do you remember, Moscona? I think I told you this when he first got here, and I said, I expected Jayden to be a Heisman candidate before he left college. Did you remember I told you that? I want to say I said that to you guys before.
You probably did. It wouldn't surprise me if you did.
Yeah, I said that, and I think I mentioned a matchup against Justin Herbert in Oregon in his freshman year.
Yes,
which
that
happened.
happened.
He throws for 300 yards, pushes the football down the field to Brandon Ayuk for an 80-yard touchdown to seal the deal. And I just remember saying that night, like, holy cow, like, this kid is special. Like, he has an opportunity to be a Heisman candidate. Now, it doesn't hurt him that he got an extra year of college.
Sure.
Right? To mature. And I think not only an extra year, a year to be here again. And what he's doing is phenomenal. Like, I'm extremely proud of him. It's the toughness to me that he's shown. The rib injury against Missouri, you continue to play, you continue to run the ball, continue to use your legs. Hell, I hope he gets down sometimes. But the accuracy in the downfield passing, how great he's been on that box fade or slot fade the whole season. There isn't a quarterback in the country outside of, Caleb Williams and, maybe Drake May or Michael Penix who's playing better football than Jayden Daniels is. And there isn't one quarterback in the country who's contributed more to his team's success than Jayden Daniels has. And I think it's been really impressive.
If you're watching, we just pulled up the 81-yard touchdown he threw as a freshman to Brandon Ayuk. I mean, a total dime down the left sideline against Oregon. Do you think – all right, 2 more things. One, do you think Jayden Daniels is an NFL starter? He's a great college player. Is he an NFL starter?
I don't believe right away that makes sense to you. Jayden Daniels needs to sit. I think Jayden Daniels, my opinion only, is as good a prospect as Jordan Love is, or Jordan Love was.
Okay.
I truly believe that. Now, Jordan Love is struggling of sorts right now, but Jordan Love had to sit. I think Jayden Daniels would have to sit. Jayden Daniels would have to learn, continue to increase his accuracy or improve upon it. But I do believe those things, like, that's something we saw just from last year to this year, Matt, the improvement in that part of his game. And so I do believe he's a guy that could end up being a starter in the league for sure. But right now, you probably draft him, 3rd round, like a Hendon Hooker, even though Hendon was coming off an injury, a 3rd round, like a Hendon Hooker, to a team that has a Kirk Cousins, who you say to yourself, we don't know how much longer this guy is going to be a good or very good starter, and we'll have that backup who can step up in his place when it's time.
Ryan Clark is with us. I had 2 more things. Number 1, I would love Uncle Ryan's story time. My favorite LSU Auburn game ever. I was a student at LSU 2001 when you all won that December Auburn game to punch your ticket to the SEC championship game for the first time in LSU history. What do you remember, or do you remember much about that game or that night?
Michael Clayton almost killing a returner.
This is the play right here. We had it pulled up right on cue.
It's what I remember because it was the moment I was like, ain't no way we're losing this game. It was the stadium was electric, and it was one of those things, Matt, too. We knew we were a good team, but in truth, we weren't a great football team. Mm-hmm. We just weren't. And that night sort of made me feel like, oh, wait, we are a team of some uncertain destiny. Like, there's a reason we are here. There was a reason, and in no way am I saying, 9/11, which is one of the more or most horrific days in, our history as a country, but in my life, it's the top most horrific day, most tragic day. It was like we weren't ready to play Auburn then. Mm-hmm. We probably don't beat Auburn at that time. But when we got a chance to play them, the electricity surrounding our team, the energy in that stadium, because we knew what was at stake, there was no way we lose. Yeah. And I believe a lot of that momentum you carry into Tennessee that blasts you in Knoxville that year, which, by the way, is the worst college football game I ever played.
That was the Kelly Washington game.
Yeah. And it's probably more so why Kelly Washington told me walking off the field at the SEC championship that he was going to play in the NFL for a long time and I was never going to get a shot. Mine had the tables turned. I wonder where he is now. Nobody knows. Nobody effing knows.
That was so good.
But, I think it's just like we were a team of destiny, man. We really were. And it was kind of, at that point, the Rohan Davies of the world, the Dominic Davises, and the Brandon Tofields, Matt Mock comes in the championship. That was the night I realized, I was like, man, we're going to do something really cool, and we're going to start something at LSU. And, 2 years later, they win the national championship.
Yeah, man. That was a great night. Oh, that was a lot of fun. I wish I knew how to smoke a cigar then. I had one. I lit it on the field. I think maybe I just let it dangle out of my mouth, RC. I got it's still sitting in a jar in my office at my house.
Moscona, where were you? Because it had to be high school Sconey, or maybe it had to be high school Sconey at this time.
Okay.
Maybe you were in college when Auburn blasted us on our own field and they smoked the cigars.
Okay, so I hate to tell you this in particular. That was a day game in Tiger Stadium on Saturday, as you remember.
Uh-huh.
But that Saturday, I, as a senior at Calic High, was playing Archbishop Shaw at Hosmemsis Stadium.
Shut up.
I'm dead serious.
That is crazy.
And we scored on every possession of the first half. Returned the second half kickoff for a touchdown, although the ref called it back, said Greg Skidmore stepped out of bounds, which he didn't. And Chiron Carey led Shaw back, and they beat us by a point. So we bust back to Baton Rouge, and then I got in my car, and that's when I heard the score of the game, and I was like, what the hell? 49 to what?
It was the worst. But, this is more story time for Matt and RC.
Okay.
How amazing of a high school player was Chiron Carey?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm just glad I didn't have to try to tackle him, bro. I was on the other side of the ball, man. No, Chiron was awesome.
I tell people all the time, because I wore number 2 at Shaw. I gifted it. We could pass our numbers down. I passed it down to him. And I just remember going back and watching him play and saying, my goodness, he's so much better than I was in it. This little kid is 5'6", and he's impossible to tackle. But man,
he took over a little bit in the second half. We couldn't get him on the ground in the second half.
It was the reason. It was the reason that kid committed to Tennessee one year, set out because of grades, and then was able to commit to LSU. It wasn't because he couldn't play football.
No doubt. All right, before you go, you ready, Muse? Hang on. Today, 44 years ago, This is a weird version, Muse. All right, here we go.
It's piano.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear RC. Happy birthday to you. All right, RC. All right. We can clap it up, or am I going to clap alone there?
Thank you, guys, man. I appreciate it.
All right. RC, thanks for making time as always, man. Hope you have a great birthday, man. We'll talk soon, all right?
My man, have a great one.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.